What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of XPN Gaming. I'm your host, BMG, also joined by Fabio. And today we're talking about a former PlayStation boss, Shuhei Yoshida, says that he would have resisted the live service push. So let's get right into it. Former PlayStation Studios boss Shuhei Yoshida has said he would have resisted Sony's push into live service games was he still in charge of the platform. The popular executive quit Sony this month after 31 years at the company, where he helped launch original PlayStation and served as its president of Worldwide Studios between 2008 and 2019. Speaking his first interview since leaving PlayStation, Shuhei Yoshida was quizzed on a range of topics by Kinda Funny, by Greg Miller, including why the PS Vita failed and the reason behind Bloodborne not yet coming to PlayStation 5. Shuhei Yoshida was also asked on his thoughts on Sony's push into the live service games since he relinquished his role as the head of the first party development to focus on indie games. The former executive said he would have attempted to resist pushes from Sony management to create more games within the lucrative but risky genre space and joked that perhaps that's why he was removed as Worldwide Studios boss. Shuhei Yoshida, he's been in charge for a long time. He's been responsible for numerous best-selling games across the PlayStation platform, exclusive games. And yeah, it was a bit of a shock when he was moved over to head of indie games, and
Hmm.
Jim Ryan was put in his place. But is he joking when he says this probably why they removed me because he would have resisted it and they wanted someone that was more in line with them. Whereas Jim Ryan isn't a gamer, he's a businessman. Shuhei Yoshida, yeah, he's a businessman, but he's also a gamer, like the likes of Phil Spencer and Herman Hulst. But his jokingly claims that he was probably removed because they wanted an easy push into that direction. It's also have to note that not only were they got the funds to give out for the first party single player games, but they were given extra resources for live service. Personally, I just think it was a new direction they wanted to go in because that's where the industry was going. Live service games, we've seen it through multiple studios. You know, your Suicide Squad, your Fortnite,
Hmm.
and things like
Roblox.
Roblox, Minecraft. What's that Titanfall one? I can't remember the name of it. Not
Apex Legends or something like
Apex
that.
Legends. Apex Legends. You know,
Hmm.
they pivot in that direction. So, and Xbox themselves have numerous live service games. So I think Sony they want a piece of that pie.
For
Whether
sure.
Shuei Yoshida had an effect on that or was against that, we could be joking, there could be some grain of truth in that. What are your thoughts on it, Fabio?
I mean, I think he left the company in good terms. Honestly, I don't think it is something like it doesn't seem to be like from his character, like him, for his person to like have any sort of beef or bad blood with the company he's been part since the beginning of the PlayStation division. Honestly, like that guy, it doesn't matter if he like he's living right, if he already left the company, or if he for some time he left the first party business to go to the indie side of things. He is a legend of
Hmm.
PlayStation, and like he is definitely one of the people that we have all to thank for the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, of course, and like gaming in general. There's no question about that. But when it comes to the live service part of it, I think it is interesting that he would be pushing against it. But like, I don't think he would say that no, we are not going to be doing this, and that's final. I will not accept such a thing because, as we all know, and like considering what we saw from previous heads of PlayStation in Sean Layden, for example, it's not a sustainable business for you to spend like 300 to 500 million dollars on a games development for people to play it for like 10 hours or 12, 14 hours once, and then that's it. They are not never going to play it again, or they're just going to play that title for just one time. The same way as we are seeing, as we mentioned in a previous video of ours, like we've been seeing PlayStation trying to expand more and more their business in order to not just be stuck with just the console, because they know that spending all this money in order for them to just be putting that game in just one platform is not going to work. So they are spending putting their games on PC, as well as putting their games on, like, making more investments through cloud as well, with the PlayStation Portal, and I imagine any sort of other idea that they decide to follow up with the PlayStation 5 and future generations itself. But I think that he would have ended up understanding the meaning of going for the live service business, because, like, Jim Ryan, what I think Jim Ryan was trying to do was trying to save, quote unquote, save PlayStation. Not saying that their business model was like, PlayStation is dying, they are not going to exist anymore, the console is dead, or something like that, but just saying that we need to go with a more sustainable business. And the way for us to do this is to get games that have uh concurrent flux of players there, monthly users, over and over and over again. But the issue, in my opinion, with the Jim Ryan strategy is that their consumer base was mostly used with the final years of the PlayStation 3 and the entire generation of the PlayStation 4, which were like mainly focused on cinematic story driven games.
Mhm.
And out of nowhere, in one showcase, they decide to put tons of live service games, which, like, their user base is not used to it. So, like, I think they should have tried to, instead of let's put all of this all at once and that's it, like, try to tiptoe and make it, people start to getting used to, okay, PlayStation is going to remain doing some cinematic games, but they're also going to try to have that um self-generating money maker games as well. Like, you see their approach with Bungie in acquiring Destiny 2. That's a good example of a live service game who has been thriving, like, throughout most of its history. And we'll see what happens when they release Marathon as well.
Yeah. Quick question: do you think Shuei was pushed out into the indie space to make room
Hmm.
for this change?
Hmm. I don't know. He could have, but I don't know. I might have the impression that he wanted to change the. He wanted to make a change, like, because he's been in the same place for such a long time. I think it's, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to guess here. He might have gotten tired of doing the same thing over and over in the same in the same department of the company, and then decided to let me go to something simpler. And then he went to the indie side of things. I'm trying. Like, I would
Maybe.
never say that Shuhei Yoshida is going to have, like, bad blood between him and the company. Honestly.
No, no. But if you like that, like, share, subscribe, and leave us comments on what you think. Other than that, we will see you.